Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the RapChat podcast. I'm your host, Luke Dick.
I'm Elias Eldridge.
And I'm Sam Kenny.
And before we head into the podcast, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcasts, make sure to leave us a rating and review. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter at RapChat Podcast, where we post new clips of the show every week. Hey, guys, what's up?
How is it going?
It's fun doing another virtual episode.
Yeah.
All the kinks that come with it. And
Yeah.
It's not bad, but I'm missing the in-person stuff.
Oh, man. I know, man. Sam and I were talking about this when you were gone, Elias, there for a couple minutes.
I miss sitting within 2 inches of Sam, dude.
Yeah, right? Who wouldn't?
I never thought I'd miss it this much, but I knew I'd miss it, but not this much.
Too funny. So the schedule for today's podcast will be game recaps, performer of the week. We have a game that you got for us, Elias?
I do have a game for y'all.
Oh, nice. And then looking ahead, I'm excited, man. I feel like this has been such a weird week for us, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then finally, we had like a kind of a feel-good game last night, like better than the Cavs game. So good spirits.
Yeah. Honestly, like if you were, because remember how we were talking about how, like if you were the only people who watched the Cavs game were like Raptors fans and Cavs fans, and even then, like who still watched it? Yeah. And then I feel like if you watched the Philly game yesterday, you would have been entertained no matter like who you were a fan of. I genuinely thought that was a great game.
It was a really good game, very competitive.
Yeah. Especially given our history as well.
Yeah, man. I mean, I thought having Gary and Pascal back would be a big difference, but I didn't think that was a really close game.
Yeah.
Should we get into it?
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
All right. As we know, this game, before the game, we had Pascal, Gary, Malachi, Precious, and Kem. I believe that was the 5 that all cleared protocols. And then before the game...
Precious cleared too?
Precious cleared, yep.
Oh, sweet. I didn't know that.
I think Kem might still be dealing with his knee stuff. And then Precious,
He was on the bench with his knee thing.
Yeah, and then Precious, I think, is still getting his conditioning back. And then before the game, we found out that Delano Banton is dealing with some knee soreness. And then DJ Wilson, was waiting to clear protocols or something. So he wasn't available till the second half. But we had Pascal, we had Gary, we had Malachi. The starting lineup was Malachi, Gary, Pascal, Boucher, and Yuta. Started off the game really nice. Pascal hit a deep mid-range to start the game, and that was kind of the story for the whole quarter. The offense looked as good as it can, given the personnel. Right from the get-go, Pascal set the tone for the whole team. He had 14 points in the quarter. He capped it off. 2 assists. He capped it off with a beautiful crossover on George Niang and a finish over Joel Embiid. He had one pass where he drove. He was basically quadruple teamed and still fired off a beautiful pass to Chris Boucher for the dunk. His whole game, like I loved how he played, but that first quarter was so important for us, setting that tone and actually keeping us in the game. He actually scored or assisted on 19 of our 24 points that quarter.
Wow.
And we ended the quarter only down 3. Second quarter, Pascal was resting, and we actually held it together. A lot of that was from active defense. We had Tremont Waters and Daniel Aturu on. Neither of them really did much, but they tried hard.
I feel like Daniel actually he's a body man. Like he's not afraid to get aggressive, and I mean like honestly like what are we really asking out of these new guys, man? Like what are we really asking? It's like honestly we don't care if you go and score, like just go and hustle. Yeah, like play some basketball and just get opportunities for other guys pretty much. Like that's what we want you to do.
Yeah. Pretty much. And a big in the second quarter, a big thing was, I mean, there was one basket where Embiid had where he basically just walked Boucher just under the rim, and that was almost a story. Like Embiid just that we had no size at all on the front line, even on the best of times. Almost nobody can deal with Joel Embiid, but if you're playing a bunch of power forwards against him, it's probably not going to go well. We really ended the first half on a good note, though. It was an awesome block by Yuta and Daniel Aturu, kind of combining to block Joel Embiid. Yuta had a bunch
Green,
of
Kawhi Leonard style.
Yeah,
double block.
Yeah, Yuta had a bunch of kind of fun hustle plays. He had 2 big threes this game. Just a fun game for Yuta. Classic Yuta Watanabe game. Not the 26 and 13, but playing his role, doing Yuta things. And at the half, we were only trailing 55-48, which I saw as a positive. And then the third quarter, Boucher went off to start. He had 3 threes to start the quarter. The first one was open. He had 5 threes this game. The remaining 4 were like a bit like, what are you doing? And then he makes it, and you're not going to complain. Boucher with probably his best game of the year. We'll get into that more later.
Hands
but
down.
His defense, he actually did whatever you could against Joel Embiid for some stretches there, and just like pure effort, taking the right angles, just doing a lot of good stuff. Then DJ Wilson checked in, and he was one of the bright spots of our last game against Cleveland, and he started off right away with a beautiful short roll pass by Pascal for a DJ Wilson dunk, and then he got out on the fast break and finished a layup. I thought his defense, his whole stint in that second half was awesome against Joel Embiid, like super smart, almost like Kem Birch sort of, nothing flashy, but in the right spot, just doing the little things. He finished the game in only 13 minutes. He had 9 points and 6 rebounds on 2 of 3 shooting and got to the line 6 times. I thought he played awesome, like considering he's a 10-day contract player.
Yeah.
Third quarter, we closed the third quarter on an awesome note. Yuta actually tweaked his ankle, but he was totally okay. We had the lead cut to 2 at one point, and Svi had a 4-point play, followed by another 3 to put us up 2. Second half for Svi, the third quarter for Svi was one of his better quarters we've seen in a long time. He has been god-awful for a while now, but that third quarter was like, why can't you just hit open threes? Like, oh my God, like you have a 10-year NBA career if you can hit those shots. But he just can't do it.
He's been god awful, we'll say.
Hey man, like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. He was on my nerves this game.
Fair enough.
But we end the third quarter. We're down 85-81. A guy who killed us all night, and it started the fourth quarter. It was George Niang.
Yeah, man, he was splashing, bro. This guy was splashing on us. So frustrating.
Shit about him in the group chat.
I know, man, and like
we were talking shit about him.
George Niang is a solid role player, but 19 points. He had 8 of those points in the fourth quarter, 3 for 3 from the field in the fourth, 2 for 2 from 3, and the Sixers actually got out to a 12-point lead at one point from Niang, just on fire. And the shots weren't even like that open. Like it was good defense.
No, they were good.
Yeah, they were contested for sure.
Yeah. Once again, Boucher keeping us in it with 2 big threes to trim that lead down. Late in the game, I'm actually going to get the play-by-play up here because I don't want to skip. This game was a little bit wild down the stretch. All right. There we go. Yeah, okay. So Gary Trent hits a floater. That cut the lead to 2 at the time. Gary had a really tough night, but had an awesome finish to the game, hit some big shots. You could tell he was tired, but when we needed it most, he came alive. That was followed up by great defense by DJ Wilson. And then Gary came down again and had like a sidestep 3.
Yeah.
That put us up. And then once again, Joel Embiid was just getting to the paint. He had a big putback. He was getting to the free throw line. But Pascal tied the game up, or put us up 1. Put us up 1 late with 1 minute and 8 seconds to go with a beautiful layup assisted by Gary Trent. Gary Trent had 7 assists this game, which I think might tie a career high. That's like, and it wasn't just like passing it, like swinging the ball assists. He actually had a few really nice passes.
It was
he had
noticeable.
He had one to Malachi, I think, in that third quarter. That was really, really nice. But then we just couldn't finish it off. Embiid was too much for us.
No, man, dude. Remember that huge 3 he hit on us, man?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
I was like...
Embiid, man. He showed why he's a superstar this game, just getting the job done.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, Matisse Thybulle deflected a ball.
Yeah.
A pass by Gary to Pascal that originally was ruled Sixers ball, but they looked over it and it tipped off Pascal's foot. The Sixers end up finishing the game off, and the Raptors fall 114-109. all around, I thought it was a really, really fun game to watch. Like as a fan, like not expecting to win, but just being the underdog. I thought every guy that hit the floor like played with just amazing effort, even if they didn't shoot well. Like Gary shot 6 of 24, which is like on a normal night you'd be like, oh, that's really bad. But I thought he was so aggressive on defense for a guy who just came back off the court.
How many steals? He had like 2 or 3 steals.
His fourth quarter was really good too.
Yeah. He had 2 steals. Yeah. And then the 7 assists is like,
that's huge.
For Gary Trent Jr., that's huge. He really, like, to end the game, the Raptors point guards were Pascal and Gary. Like, Gary Trent's 2 weakest things on the offensive end is ball handling and passing, and he was running the point for us. And he did a good job, like, as well as he could have done. And Pascal did a great job. Just an overall, I don't know, hard-fought game, and like just a lot of positives to take from it.
Gary is a very unselfish player. Like guys like him with like his sort of stat line with like, it's 19, 2 and 3 or whatever per game. Usually those are guys that like a Cam Thomas type who just only score mentality. But I think Gary is more than that. It just doesn't show in the stats. But like he is, I mean, he's a scorer first, obviously. But I think he is an underrated playmaker.
Well, man, Gary has such a great feel for the game. Like he's very aware. Like he understands. Okay, well, if I'm not shooting the ball well, what do I need to do? And he was absolutely grinding on defense, man. I think I really think that Gary Trent Jr. Like, I mean, of course, like we talk about him as a great defensive player, but I honestly think he's in the conversation for the league in terms of some of the best defensive players at his position, man. Because he just gets up on guys, man, and the way that he moves his feet and is able to predict where a lot of the other players are going is pretty remarkable to watch. Given the fact that he wasn't ever really discussed about as a defensive player in his career in the past at all, and so watching him has been exciting, and it's so great to see that when he isn't shooting the ball well, something that kind of like we depend on him for, he's getting 7 assists. He is contributing with those 2 steals. Like, he is being a value on the court. And, dude, if you would have told me he went 6 for 24 last night, I would really not have noticed that. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't feel like he was 6 for 24.
No. His fourth quarter is just so great, to be honest. It kind of overshadowed the rest of it.
Yeah, I thought he hit, like, when we needed a big shot, like, he had the 2 biggest shots of the game for us right in that fourth quarter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if we're talking defense at the guard position, though, I think we got to shout out Matisse Thybulle because his defense at the end of this game was next level, man. He's so good at defense. He was an all defensive player last year off the bench.
Wow. I had a problem with that though, that he got chosen over OG because I thought OG had a better year last year than him.
But he is awesome. The fact that he is one of the best though, like you can't deny that. And then even this year, I think last time I saw he was 5th in Defensive Player of the Year ranking right now. Like he had some great defensive possessions on Pascal yesterday at the end of the game, and also those hustle plays like the one where went off Pascal's shoe. Then there's another one before that where I think he knocked it out of bounds off Boucher or somebody. Like he hit off their leg and it was their ball. Yeah. So he's
so good at just like creeping up on guys, right? Like Pascal and Gary, if they were basically running our late game offense, and those are 2 guys who aren't elite ball handlers, and so I was really worried whenever Thybulle was guarding one of them, and credit to them for getting the job done when they needed to. But Matisse, they put him on Gary and then Embiid on Pascal, and that's really hard to deal with if you're those 2. I thought whenever the Sixers had Tobias or George Niang on Pascal, it was a bucket or a pass to an open shot. But Embiid, right, he can just he's so mobile while being so big. If we're talking defense, I'm also going to shout out Chris Boucher and DJ Wilson. Just for,
man, for sure.
You look at Embiid's stat line, 36 and 11. Like that's on 11 of 16 shooting. Like that, that's an amazing stat line. But I don't
Chris
know
Boucher,
what
28-19.
I don't know what else Chris and DJ could have done on that end to slow him down.
No, you're right.
Like, I thought also really good defensive schemes. Like they doubled at the right times. Malachi Flynn had a few nice doubles. And then DJ, I was so impressed with DJ Wilson's defense, man. Like
I want him on the team.
Yeah, man. I can we like take a second to talk about DJ Wilson because
I wanted to.
He is I actually am very impressed with him over the last couple games, and I mean I remember watching him on the Celtics too and liking his play. And
I don't think he was on the Celtics. I think you think of the Bucks.
I'm pretty sure he was on
your green team's mixed up.
Maybe I thought he was on the Celtics. Maybe I'm capping.
Yeah,
anyways,
I knew he was on the Bucks for a long time.
Okay, but
yeah, Milwaukee then Houston.
Oh, just Houston. Okay, sorry, never mind. Milwaukee then.
Yeah.
But I do remember seeing him in the past and seeing his hustle and I just think that he how do I describe this? Like he it's almost like he feeds into the system just like seamlessly. Like I think he buys into what a lot of the guys out there to do, and his defensive contributions to the team, and honestly his he makes the smart plays on offense too. Like I think it's not about scoring, and he's another one of those guys that he is much bigger than he seems. Like once he actually gets in his defensive stance, and once he actually starts moving around, he's a lot bigger than he looks. You know what I mean? Like he well, how tall is he? Like what, 6'9" maybe?
6'10". 6'10".
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's that big, eh?
I thought he was looking at him now. 6'10", 230.
Wow. Yeah. He actually is quite a big dude, and I would not mind honestly keeping DJ Wilson because I enjoy watching him play, man. I think he makes I really don't think I've watched him on the court and been like, "Oh my god, I can't believe we have to put DJ out there because we have no other options." I've been like, "Oh wow, like this is a kind of a steal."
Since 2018. He's been in the NBA since 2018.
Yeah.
Like he's not new to the show.
And he's shown like I'm looking at his numbers right now. Last year, on 2.5 attempts a game, he shot 34% from 3. And then in 2018-19, on 2.6 attempts per game, he shot 36% from 3. And he took 1 3 this game. He didn't make it. The form looked good, though.
Yeah.
I think he's like at that size, and he's like we've seen, he's mobile. He seems like a really smart defender. I think, like, why not take a shot on him with an open roster spot?
He'd be our tallest player.
Yeah.
No, man, I would like to see him and Precious play together, man. I think that him and Precious would be great. You know,
nice 1-2 punch down low.
Yeah, 100%. Like especially both of them coming off the bench. Like I feel like I don't even really know what you'd want. Like, would you want DJ at the 5 and Precious at the 4? Like,
or maybe it doesn't even matter. Like they're just interchangeable.
It's true.
Yeah, I loved it.
And especially with them like double teaming down low, I think that would cause a lot of trouble for first teams, especially when I feel like that's the opportunities that we can take because they're quick. GG's a fast guy, man. Like he gets to those defensive spots really, really quickly. And I think that if you have, and so is Precious. Precious is a really quick guy too. So I think if you had DJ and Precious down low, and if you have them doubling on certain important players, man, I really think that those players can get overwhelmed, especially when we have teams that outsize us a little bit, like players with like the Suns with like DeAndre Ayton, with big guys like that, and especially guys like Joel. I think he's really nothing but an asset, right? Like in terms of that aspect.
Yeah. My other thought from this game.
I just want to see more of him on the perimeter defensively, see what he can do there. But anyway.
My other thought from this game is how good Pascal looked for just coming off of protocols. Just carried us throughout the game, whether it was him scoring, his passing. He finished with 8 assists. Just his like gravity on the court, right? When he touched the ball, there were like 3 Sixers players looking at him. And more often than not, he made the right play. I just thought like that was a really promising thing to see, just him, like, because no one would have faulted him, right, for having an awful game. He's missed over a week with COVID, and he's picking up right where he left off, right? That Brooklyn game was his last game that he played, and he was great in that game. Just playing.
He looked way more motivated. Like he looks like more motivated than he did at the start of the year. He looks more like the all-star version of him. I'm not trying to say he's got to be that guy, but he just looks way more, I guess, finished as a player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm seeing less holes every time I see him play.
Well, he plays with a certain like smooth aggressiveness that we love to see, right? Because sometimes I feel like where we've seen Pascal in the past is when he is chaotic and he is indecisive. And I think that one of the reasons why I think Pascal may have been indecisive and a little chaotic in the past is because, the team changes, man, and we've gone through so many weird seasons in the past that Pascal, in his eyes, I think for a while he was kind of like, man, who can I really look at on this team and be like, I know you're going to be here. You know what I mean? I know what you can do. I know what we've got here, right? And there's maybe a couple guys, right? But in terms of like longevity, I think that he took a lot of responsibility. I mean, that's like probably one of the main things of the bubble season was that, he was so counted on to take all this responsibility. I think he just caved under the pressure, and I don't blame him because, man, like, let's be real. Like, this guy is not, he's not Stephen Curry, right? He's not Kevin Durant. Like, he's a great NBA player. He is, but he needs a team. He needs a team, right? Like, he's not that type of guy who's going to give you 35 a night. He just isn't. So, I think that now that we've got guys like Gary, who's, again, like 7 assists this game, we've got guys like Yuta, hustlers, man, like guys that Pascal does. He can especially at the defensive end too. Like, Pascal doesn't feel like he has to take too much of the responsibility and be burdened with the burden of responsibility when it comes to taking the big roles that are on this team. And I feel like he maybe doesn't feel like he has to do too much. He can share the responsibility around, and then when you see him do that, you can see him really get in his own bag and get him like he feels like he can play as himself and smooth and depend on other guys for the things that he doesn't necessarily need to do anymore.
Yeah, he knows exactly how he wants to play every night. He's going to go out. He's going to establish himself in the mid-range. He knows he can finish over smaller guys down low, and he's going to look to pass it to double teams.
Yep.
And then on defense, he's like a quarterback, super amazing off-ball defender, right? Making the right reads, getting out on shooters, switching, just does everything you want him to do for a player of that caliber. And he's looked, going back, like, he had a rough, first 6, 7, 8 games.
Yeah.
Ever since then, he's been almost like a metronome. Like, you're getting from Pascal every night, which was a criticism of him in the past.
I loved how, like you said, how he established himself in this game in the first quarter, especially in the mid-range, because if you establish yourself in the mid-range, then the defense gets so confused on how to guard you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you're at the perimeter, they'll play back on you a bit because they don't want you to shoot at mid-range. So then that kind of, if you pump fake or something, they'll come up on you, then you just go around them. Like, he establishing yourself that way, and also as a playmaker, because he had some great passes in the first quarter. I think that was huge for him this game. And I feel like he's done that a lot in the past. I think against that Sacramento game not too long ago and the Brooklyn game, he had a great first quarter, and that really sets a tone for himself in the games. So I like that from him.
Yeah. I've got 2 more smaller things. One, we don't have to talk about this for too long. We've talked about this guy a ton lately, like a ton last episode, but Chris Boucher, big bounce back game, 28 and 19, 10 of 14 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3. By far his best game of the season. Oh, yeah. I don't want to jinx him, but that's how he's got to play, right? Play within himself, play within the team role, defensive effort.
Not saying he's 28-19 every game,
no.
but that style, yeah.
Yeah. He just
the bar goes from down here to up here.
Yeah,
right. Just be a solid role player, and the numbers will follow. I thought he was, like, consistently throughout the game, just awesome.
His defense, man, his like you said, I think you mentioned it earlier, Sam. His defense, especially on the perimeter, dude, like he really gets on guys, and honestly, every time that I saw somebody score over Chris, I'm not like, fuck Chris, man.
I wasn't mad at Chris at all this game.
Exactly. I'm like,
that's a first.
What's that, sorry, Elias?
I said I wasn't mad at him this entire game. That's kind of a first. Like, he was making really good decisions
100%
on both ends.
No, I agree, and like, especially when it comes to his defense, like. There were so many times where players would score on him, and I'd just be like, you know what, man, tough. You had good defense, and there's not really much you can do after. Like especially when Embiid hit that like deep three on him. Chris had that shot contested, like as best as you could possibly contest that shot without blocking it. You know what I mean? Like it was. There's really nothing you can do at that point, and I think that he really used his body to his advantage, and he stepped up, and good for Chris. We really sometimes on this podcast we beat the shit out of Chris Boucher, but there's really nothing that we can really say about his performance this last game.
No, He was great. Did you guys still tense every time he took a three?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course.
Every time he shot, I was still like,
That's the Chris Boucher experience. You're always gonna be tense.
So polarizing.
Yeah. I've got one last thing to end the game off on a high note. Maybe unexpected from me. I'm gonna choose to be positive about this guy. Really tough shooting night for Malachi Flynn. 2 for 12 from the field, 2 for 8 from 3. He played 32 minutes. I did though like a lot of his decision making on offense. He had a couple ill-advised drives into Joel Embiid, but I did like how aggressive he was, and I really liked his defense on the perimeter, containing Tyrese Maxey. But
he was fast, man. He was quick as hell.
Yeah, he made a lot of smart double downs onto Embiid and Tobias Harris. So numbers don't look good, but
I think to oppose you, I think his defensive decision making was great this game. It was great, but I think his offense was really bad. I think all around, I didn't see much good decision making, to be honest, from him. I felt like all his shots are relatively ill-advised.
But at the end of the day, man, like some of the shots he was taking, reminded me of some of the shots Fred used to take really early on, to be honest, man. Like some of those drives.
Yeah, but he's not as good as Fred.
Yeah, I know. But some of the drives that Malachi took and put up some of those shots and obviously got blocked or was just way more heavily contested. I'm like, we've been seeing Fred do that. I mean, we've saw Fred do that at the beginning of the season. And I'm not like, I don't want to like say Malachi and Fred are the same person, but because obviously they're not. But like, I mean, I don't know. Like you guys know, I like Malachi Flynn, and I think that honestly he has like so much more to offer than what is being presented. I think that he's just had a really tough go this season, and like he's just without all the consistent minutes. And I think one thing that he really tried to use to his advantage this game was his speed. I think that he was super fast. He was getting up on guys. He was fighting on screens. Like he was doing a lot of the things defensively that are gonna hopefully translate into some offensive game. And I mean, if Fred's going to come back, then Fred's going to come back, and that it is what it is, and Malachi will probably see his minutes dwindle again, but I don't know, man. I still think he's got a lot of potential, and I don't want to rule him out as a player, you know?
Yeah,
I just think we talked about this before. Sorry, Sam, do you want to go?
No, go ahead.
I think we mentioned this before, is that if he's not shooting well, he's relatively irrelevant on offense. So, and like he hasn't been shooting well all season. And this game especially, there's a lot of times where he had a mismatch, but he's too small to blow by and get to the rim, especially with Embiid on the floor.
Yeah.
And then if he's not hitting his shots, then like, what can he do? Because if he has a mismatch, blow by, pull up mid range or something, he's not making them. Then what can you ask more? So.
The frustrating thing though is, man, like I saw him make those like a season or last season ago, like 2 seasons ago.
I think the inconsistent minutes are really getting to him, because last year he had.
It is, man.
Minutes.
Like
I think it's a good point,
and that's what I'm saying, man.
That's,
is because
that's the unfortunate part of it, because that's the unfortunate part of it, because I mean we got Delano Banton now too, and it's just we're gonna play who's playing better, right? And Delano is playing better this season than Malachi Flynn is, so. It's unfortunate, but
it is extremely unfortunate, and that's what makes me so mad. Is that like part of me wants to say that like I'd like to see Malachi on another team just so that he can get more consistent minutes. Like I'd like to see him maybe on a team like Washington or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like just on a different team where where he can get some more consistent minutes. Because I honestly think that if you give him the opportunity and get him out there playing, or even honestly on a team like the Pistons, man, like
the Pistons or the Pacers.
Yeah, man, like just some more opportunity, a little less pressure. I think that he could really thrive, and it's just because I like Malachi Flynn, man. I do, because at the end of the day, like I saw him be really, really good for a solid 2 years watching him, and now seeing him struggle. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he's struggling as a basketball player because he's bad. I think he's struggling as a basketball player because he's not being given the opportunities, and he's been inconsistent because everything about his playing time has been inconsistent this season. So, I mean, like
something else though about that is Fred VanVleet has always said stay ready. He stayed ready his whole career, especially when he was younger.
Right.
So I think that's something Malachi has to do. Is if his inconsistencies are coming from not staying ready, then I think he's got to
Fair
He's
enough.
Gotta stay ready.
Yeah. Fair enough.
My one thing is I want to see the 3-point shot come around. Like, it hasn't shown any sign this season of coming around. So if he's going to be an NBA player, right, he's got to hit that shot. I think he might be a guy like the guys call them like second contract or second draft guys. Like guys when they're drafted, they don't work out well with their first team, but find something right with that second team. And I could see Malachi running a bench unit for a team where he's allowed to run, lots of pick and rolls, and play more to his strengths, and and get, he knows he's getting 15 minutes off the bench a game. I could see that. I hope he gets that opportunity because we know the talent's there. It's just about putting it all together and
executing the
opportunity. Yeah.
I think the Pacers would be nice because even McConnell's out now, and they just dropped Wanamaker, so they need a backup point guard. And
what about the Cavaliers
off the bench?
The Cavs just lost Rubio for the year.
Oh man, I'm so sad about Rubio. He was playing so.
Yeah, he was balling this season. He was balling.
He's such a good dude.
That might be fun though, Malachi.
Malachi in Cleveland.
Young
for
team.
Evan Mobley.
Yeah, for Evan Mobley. I was just about to say.
I
Malachi Flynn for Evan Mobley. Least controversial
Flynn
trade
and
of the year.
Boucher for Mobley and Allen. Flynn and Boucher for
let's go. I agree.
They can have Spee. We'll throw Spee in for them too.
Yeah.
I'll even give him Tremont Waters, man. I don't care. I'll give him Tremont Waters.
No way, man. No freaking way, Elias, bro. Come on, man.
Dude, I'm crazy. I know. I'm crazy.
He's untouchable. Tremont's untouchable.
I'm so crazy.
Tremont's untouchable for the next 5 days, and then he's off.
Yeah, right.
Can we trade hardship contracts? No way.
No.
No, there's no way. Okay. Player of the week.
Player of the week. Go ahead.
All right. Me?
Sure.
All right. My player of the week, close second is Chris Boucher, but my number one is Yuta Watanabe.
Yeah, let's go.
That's player of the week. We talked about this earlier. This is a weird week for player of the week because we had a few guys that we could choose from that played both games because there's like 3 or 4 outside of the 4-day or the 10-day guys. I almost picked DJ Wilson too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Watanabe career high in points and maybe rebounds. I don't know. He had 13 rebounds against the Cavs. That stood a lot. And like to be fair, someone had to go get their career high. It was Watanabe. He shot over 50% that game too. So definitely shout out to Watanabe. And then versus the Sixers. An efficient 10 points to go along with 4 rebounds and 2 assists. And outside of the stats, Watanabe's, we talk about it all the time, but he's always a hustler. Mm-hmm. He's always doing the positives. And, I thought he deserved a shout-out, so this is the week for it, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was going to pick Yuta, but I had a feeling one of you guys was going to pick him. I went with DJ Wilson.
Wow. Okay, interesting, Sam.
I like it.
I thought his first game was really awesome.
Did you rewatch it?
I watched the highlights of it. I couldn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't blame you, Sam. We don't
DJ
blame
Wilson
you.
turnaround I was talking about.
I saw that. The first game, though, 15 points on 6 of 8 shooting with 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 steals. And then this game, he came in only for the second half, but had 9 points, 6 rebounds, and was a plus 12 in that half. Wow. I thought his defense was awesome in both games, and he's shown a lot of stuff, like why not take a flyer? Like, he is a Raptors-type player.
Yeah, totally, man, totally.
So he's only, how old is he?
He's 25, I think.
He's only 25, so
yeah,
why not?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, my performer of the week was Yuta. I had Yuta because, of course, Elias already touched on a lot of the reasons why Yuta, but it was that guy. But, at the end of the day, Yuta is just such a great Raptors role player, like somebody who we just love and we can count on, right? Like, if there's somebody who I can absolutely count on every single game to do the same thing is Yuta. And I got a little nervous when he got injured, or whatever that was.
Oh my god, I was so nervous,
dude. I was.
My mind just as a Raptors fan, my mind immediately went to ACL.
No,
I was like, tore it. It's done. Season's over.
Especially because he's 28 too. Like he is getting a little older.
If he tore his ACL, that probably wouldn't. That might have been it for him.
Yeah, it would have been really tough. But it was good to see him get back out there and keep moving. And actually, Sam, I'm so glad that you said DJ Wilson for Performer of the Week, because
I was gonna say DJ Wilson if one of you guys had watched Navi. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's just the only reason why too is because, man, like I feel like we have to give this guy credit in some way for coming onto a brand new team and just fitting so well. And he's not forcing anything. At all.
Yeah, and totally. He's just getting his buckets when they're there. And also, I think a big part of it, especially last game against Philly, was Pascal put a lot of trust in him. I noticed a lot of great passes to him, and I love seeing that from Pascal. I mean, he's knew that all year. I think I said this before, but he's taking on a much stronger leadership role this season.
Yeah,
where you see his arm around guys, you see him going to talk to guys if they make like a mistake, and you just it's a really big part which he's never really done before.
Sorry, my camera fell.
Technical difficulties, folks.
I thought he could go the entire episode.
For those who are listening, Sam's camera just fell down.
Took me so off guard.
Am I good?
It took me so off guard.
Yeah, you're good, Sam.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's never had that. He's never taken on a leadership role really before, and you see him do that a lot this year. And I love to see that from him. So,
giving other players opportunities, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. Pascal, just zooming out on his season so far, is averaging basically 20, 7.5, 4 assists, and his field goal percentage is up to close to 48%, which last year he shot
really
45%.
Nice.
Yeah,
and
that is
his All-Star year he shot
crazy.
45%. Yeah,
I love seeing that.
His numbers are like comparable to his All-Star year, and I think his passing has been much better. The three-point shot still hasn't come around, but it doesn't look as he's not really relying, like he's not settling.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't really seen him take a whole lot of threes.
No,
we haven't.
Like his mid-range game has
last
been
year
pretty
he took so
ridiculous.
Many. What do you Sam? Well, you have it pulled up. How many threes did he shoot a game last year?
Last year he took 4.4, and this year he's taking 3.5. 3.5.
Yeah.
His All-Star year he took 6.1.
Wow. He shot it pretty well that year.
36%.
Yeah.
But this year, he's shooting his highest percentage since he was like a primary option from 2-point range. His mid-range is absolutely like it's become like just a go-to shot for him. And he is shooting 78% from 0 to 3 feet, which is he's taking 20% of his shots from there. For example, like when he was like a role player, he was only shooting like 71%, 72%. Last year he shot below or about 70%, and this year he's shooting 78% from basically at the rim, which is really awesome. His shooting numbers, other than 3-point range, are really, really good. So
it's his improved decision making.
But like, and then we also have to think too, like the addition of Gary Trent Jr. and the addition of like having Fred take, because I think we've seen Fred take way more threes than I've ever seen Fred take in a season. And like I think now we've got a little bit of a different team, right? Like I think Pascal doesn't need to be.
We have 4 guys who
can
go get you 20 points a game. We have 4 guys that can go get you 20 points, right? So
yeah, you can almost say 5
as well. Gonna get it every game. Oh, I guess Scotty too.
You can almost say 5 guys.
Yeah.
So,
So I mean, so like there's gonna be nights where he's not the guy getting all the points, right? But he's not forcing anything, which I love. And it's something big. I'm huge on self-awareness in sports in the NBA, and just seeing him be so much more self-aware this year, because last year he was doing the same thing over and over and over, and is getting no success from it, relatively no success. This year he's changing things up because he's understanding, like, look, that's not working. Let me try something new. And we're seeing it become more successful and translating to good things. So yeah, like Sam said, shout out to Pascal Siakam.
Well, just one last thing that I want to mention about this game. Sorry, I knew I had a thought to say, but I forgot it. And this is just one more thing. I mean, we lost an extremely competitive game without OG Anunoby, without Scotty Barnes, without Fred VanVleet. And who else are we missing?
Delano, Chem, Precious.
Yes, Delano, Chem, and Precious. Like these are some of our main guys, man. Like we played a pretty Justin Champagny, and we played a pretty decently healthy 76ers team. And I think that it just goes to show, man. Like we were literally missing Scotty Barnes, and I think we have to like take a second to remind everybody how important Scotty Barnes is to the team, right? And how he actually does contribute a lot to this team.
Mm-hmm.
And and same with Fred. And Fred is obviously a crucial, integral part of the team. And with this game, I was really not. I was impressed with how well we were able to do, and I wasn't fazed. I was actually quite impressed with the fact that we were almost able to come away with the W on this game, and we're missing some of our. We're missing both of our potential starting centers. We're missing our starting point guard, our starting 3, and we're also missing Scotty Barnes too. So we're
missing most of our starting lineup, and they had their entire starting lineup. So
exactly, it was exciting, man. I think we're actually kind of starting to see, once I think we get a lot of the guys more involved, once we get OG back and Scotty back and Fred back, I think we're going to see a really interesting team here for the rest of the season.
Yeah, knock on wood, man. I hope so. I hope they're back.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to get into my game?
Let's do it.
Sure.
All right, I'm excited for this one. So, this game is a game that does not involve right or wrong answers. This is a game of opinions. This is Toronto
wrong.
Raptors.
Your opinion's wrong.
Just Sam, you're wrong. Luke, you're wrong.
I win. Everybody, I win. Game's over.
I have all the answers right here. And you guys are all wrong.
The whole game is just Elias winning.
Yeah. So sorry, your opinion
Sam,
is wrong.
No.
Obviously you lost the game. I win again. You guys really suck at this, by the way.
All right, come back next time for Elias's game.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Toronto Raptors Would You Rather. So I have...
Oh, wow. Taking a little piece out of the Reddit notebook, are we, Elias?
Yeah, shout out to the Reddit Access podcast, everybody. Go check it out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. You can find them on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
Yeah, there we go.
So I got 5 would you rather prompts, and we can have as long of a discussion as you want about them. We can start arguing if you guys disagree. I'll give my chime-ins here and there, but I wanna hear your guys' opinions on these. All right, so let's get into this first would you rather here. So we're gonna start a little bit throwback-ish. Would you rather on your team? This is not the current Torontoraptors team. Just on your fantasy team, your fantasy team to win a championship. Would you rather have prime Kyle Lowry or prime Demar Derozan on your team?
Oh man, dude, honestly, that's a hard question to answer because Demar is he's balling right now, man. I don't even know what to say about prime Demar because
I'd say prime Demar is when he was one of the top scorers on the Raptors, probably. But I mean, he's playing extremely well
this season. Man,
he's balling this season, bro.
Could.
He's kind of pulling the LeBron, man. LeBron, when is prime LeBron? I really don't know. That's a difficult question to answer.
Blocked by DeRozan.
My answer is Kyle. I think Kyle's just skill set translating to the playoffs a lot better, and just how he just impacted, how you could throw Kyle Lowry with a bunch of random bench players and he's gonna get the job done. Is not something that a lot of players can say they do.
I think Kyle's
Kyle
role demand. Yeah, I think Kyle's role demands less on the ball action. He can do more with little. Demar needs the ball in his hands to be more effective, where Kyle doesn't. Kyle just
let's be real too. Demar is a scorer, right? Demar, yeah, break it down, man. Demar's a scorer, right? Demar he's a scorer, and Kyle is not really much of a scorer, right? Kyle's a creator on whether it's for himself or other players, and one of the reasons, why I'm tempted to say Kyle is because, Kyle is he's the maestro. You know what I mean? Kyle is the conductor. He's a coach, man. He really is. I remember even going to watch the Raptors in 2017, and this guy's on a suit coaching with Dwayne Casey. He's got he's got a board and they're writing stuff out on the board together. They're coaching together, and I think
he's a future head coach.
What's that?
He's a future head coach in the NBA.
I hope so, man. I hope he comes to coach Toronto, man. Come and coach Toronto.
Can you imagine? Assistant coach Nick Nurse. That'd be so cool.
Coach, that'd be full circle, man. Coach full circle. But I think, I'd probably have to. It's tough because I love Demar as a scorer so much, especially just how ridiculous he's playing right now. But just like as Sam said, and as you said, Elias too, like you can count on Kyle Lowry for so much more than just like scoring or anything else like that, like or any external things. Like imagine I guess we've never done this podcast with Kyle Lowry on the team, but I feel like we've talked a lot in the past just about Kyle and talking about how if there's one player on the team or on any previous Raptors team that embodies or defines the phrase like don't look at the stat sheet, it's Kyle Lowry, right? Like, he's gonna impact the game in so many more ways than just the stat sheet. So yeah, it'll probably be Kyle for me as well.
That's a big thing on, like, you see these lists right now on like worst offseason signings or whatever, and a lot of people are saying Kyle Lowry because of the stat sheet, like the box score. Right. You're seeing 13 and 8, which is definitely good, but it doesn't show the heart he gives to the game and how much of a leader he is. Like he's a game changer.
Just how smart he is,
scoring
right?
nothing a game. Yeah. Like if he's scoring 0 points a game, he's still a big game changer.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get to the second one here. This one's a little more funny. Would you rather have Chris Boucher or Svi Mikhailiuk take the game-winning shot?
Oh my god! Oh my god! You're the devil for this, man.
No, they're just so great. It's like who would you rather? Like there's those Ray Allen, Steph Curry ones.
Right,
so it's
they're both right answers.
Yeah,
life on the line. Chris Boucher or Svi Mikhailiuk?
Chris.
Yeah,
because I think Chris is
really.
What kind of shot is it?
Just a game-winning shot. Any situation. It can be anything. I trust Svi inside more.
Yeah,
you know what?
If Svi's left wide open, like it's definitely Svi for me. But
I'm taking Chris, man. He's got a rational confidence. You need a rational confidence late game.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. But then Sam, you do have to be prepared for the ball to like completely miss the rim.
like 4 feet to the left, we're talking.
Yeah, like we're talking about bad. We're talking about bad. With Svi, at least I can hope that it hits the rim. Like
Matt Devlin was saying yesterday, like every time he shoots, it doesn't go in a lot of the times, but it looks like it's going in.
Yeah.
And and it's like I'll just feel better in those 2 seconds the ball's in the air. Like once it goes out of Chris's hands, I know it's not going in. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Maybe Chris can like get in for like I don't know. I'll take Chris.
Svi's good inside too, though.
Yeah, Svi is probably better than Chris, like getting to the paint.
Yeah, and also Matt also said, which I totally agree with, that shooters have short-term memory. Svi is a shooter, and he had that. I think so. This is his game. He's a.
In college,
you would call him a shooter whether he's doing good or not.
Sure.
He had that 4-point play after going like 0 for 4. He believes in himself. I would take Svi personally.
I'll take the guy who had 30 and 20 last night. All-star Chris Boucher.
28 and 19.
Who are you going with?
That's such a tough question, man. I don't even know. I'm thinking to myself, like,
I know.
Part of me wants to say Chris, literally because I think the fact that it's a game-winning shot really doesn't phase Chris, but I think it really gets on Svi's nerves. You know what I mean? Like,
Svi,
I love that it doesn't phase Chris because it really should phase Chris.
Yeah, it should. That's the point, right? It's like it should phase Chris like and every bit.
Dude,
but Chris is the type of guy to sit there with like this like blissful ignorance where it's like, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. Like Fred's like wide open and Chris is like, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. Whereas like when it comes to Svi, like Svi is like, dude, I just feel like he would cave under pressure, man.
I just can't take the thought of Boucher missing a 3 2 feet to the left and then walking back to the bench with that straight face that he has.
Mamba mentality. It's called Mamba mentality.
Yeah, he just walks away like
Mamba mentality.
I'm just like so. Oh yeah.
No, man. It's like Boucher and his like fucking super broad, skinny shoulders, just like walking back like.
Hey, he's carrying the weight of the Raptors on those shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, too funny.
Hey, Boucher, great game yesterday. Good job.
Thanks.
Yeah, good job, Chris.
Great game, Chris. Great.
Happy for you.
We're proud of you, Chris. We're proud of you.
All right, so you're both saying Chris, eh?
Yeah, I think I'll say Chris.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So okay, third one. This is a pretty in-depth one. Would you rather trade Scotty Barnes for 1 year of Kevin Durant, or the rest of our core, meaning Siakam, Fred, OG, and Gary, for 3 years of Kevin Durant?
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
Wait
Wait a second. Do we get Scotty back after the 1 year?
No, he's gone.
Wait.
It's like so we're trading. So would you rather trade Scotty Barnes for 1 year of Kevin Durant, meaning we still have Fred, OG, Gary, and
Pascal,
and Pascal, plus Kevin Durant. So we have 1 year to win a championship. It's make or miss, and he's gone after the year, regardless of what happens. Same thing as Kawhi. Or you trade everybody but Scotty for Kevin Durant for 3 years. Do you think you win a championship in 3 years with that? I don't know, but anyway.
Oh man, you're a menace, dude. You're a straight up menace for this question. This is crazy.
I hate myself for this answer, but I'll trade Scotty for the 1 year.
I wanted to hear you say it.
I hate it. I hate myself, but I just think like a roster like that roster is kind of insane.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. But you have 1 year.
But it's just 1 year though. That's a thing, bro. It's like
and then Scotty's gone. If you don't do it, Scotty's gone. Scotty's gone.
Right. You know what? Okay, I'm changing my answer.
Yeah. See, the problem is so the problem is that even if we do get a guy like KD, we still don't have a true center. You know what I mean? Like even with KD added to that squad,
center, yeah.
Like what is KD gonna guard Joel? Like you know what I'm saying? Like
you're right. You're right.
Like I feel like if we traded away our core, I mean, if we had KD and Scotty for 3 years, I feel like at a certain extent we could just round up some scrubs or just at least something that we could do to
round up the scrubs
to be extremely competitive, right? Like I don't know, man. I feel like I'm more inclined to say 3 years.
I think I'm with you, Lucas, because you can get like minimum guys who want to play with KD, and then if you don't do anything after those 3 years are up,
you still have Scotty
to build around. Yeah.
But then we see teams like LeBron, AD, and Westbrook doing horribly. So, and you guys are trusting KD and Scotty.
Yeah, but they're all old as hell, bro. These guys are old as fuck, man. These are washed.
Kevin Durant will be the same. Kevin Durant can shoot forever.
Dude, dude, Westbrook's shot off the backboard the other day. Man.
He's had multiple of those, man.
He's had some missed dunks too. He's had some really bad missed dunks.
Wow.
I forget who said it,
but
I forget who said it, but someone I saw on social media said that Westbrook is the worst player in the league.
Yeah.
And it's so true. It's like he looks so bad, yet he gets you a triple-double.
I know it's weird, bro. It's so weird.
I can't get a read on him. It's hard to rank him on a list of NBA players.
Yeah, I know. It really is difficult to have an opinion on Russell. Is he good? Is he bad? I don't really know, man.
I can't rank him on a list. I don't know where to put him.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. Is he top 50? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
That's tough. But you guys are both saying trade the core for 3 years.
Yeah.
Maybe it's dumb, but I love Scotty, so.
Yeah, me too. I can't do my boy Scotty like that, bro. Come on.
But you can do your boy Fred, Gary, OG, and Siakam like that.
Yeah. Yes. Whose jersey did I get for Christmas this year, Elias? Whose jersey I get for Christmas?
Scotty Barnes.
It's written in the cards, man. It's written in the stars.
What does that mean? What does written in the cards mean? You kept saying that. I didn't know what it meant. What is written in the cards?
It's mean? It's not written in the it's in the cards, right? It's like I'm pretty sure it's like a gambling phrase. Like it's meant that like it's in the cards if you won, right? Like if you win, it's basically like you got like the best hand because it was already in the cards. You were like, you know.
Oh, so it's like it's like saying like it's like meant to happen kind of thing.
Yeah, it's meant to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'll never say that in my life, but okay.
That's pretty fucking stupid.
I'll never use that. Horrible saying, but okay, whatever. Let's move on, I guess.
Moving on.
All right. This is one that we've talked about a bit, but we haven't talked about it for a little while, and I'm interested to get your guys' updates on it. Would you rather, simply put, would you rather make the playoffs or not this season?
To be honest, I don't really care if we make the playoffs this season. I really don't.
No, and I'm hoping we get that. I'm just Jabari Smith in a Toronto Raptors jersey.
Mm-hmm. I'm with the rookies.
You know what?
Year, man.
And to be honest with you guys, like if we say the season ended right now, we didn't make the playoffs. Say the season ended right now. And right. I can't tell you that I'd be pissed with our season. You know what I mean? I can't tell you, like, even let's say by the end of the season, if we keep playing the way that we have been playing and we still kind of lose games here and there, but we kind of win games also, I can't tell you that I'd be mad, because I think we've seen some really great things out of guys this season, and I think we've seen hustle, and I think that we've seen a lot of the things that we really enjoy watching when it comes to the Raptors. I mean, have we struggled here and there? Yeah, but I can't say that I'm like I can't say that when I watch the team I'm not entertained, and that when I watch the team I feel like I don't want to be watching the Raptors. That's not how I feel.
We've seen a lot of individual development, I guess I should say, from a lot of guys. We just haven't had an opportunity to put it all together because of injuries and such. But we've seen a lot of awesome individual development from a lot of guys like Fred, OG, Gary. I mean, the list goes on, right? So. I think if we don't make it this year, I'm very confident in next season, and then if we can add a guy in the draft and go from there, I think we're in good hands.
There's a lot of Raptors type players in this draft, which is maybe something we don't need, because there's not a lot of guys like
too many.
Like there's not a lot of like lead guards or anything like that. But there are a lot of like athletic forwards who can't really shoot but can play make sorta, except for Jabari Smith. But I don't think we'll get that high. I think like why not? Like what's the point of being a 9 seed? Right? Like let's get a higher pick. You don't have to draft for that pick. It's an asset to trade. And we've
I don't know if this changes anything. It's make the playoffs, so you would get past the play-in. But
no, I don't want to get destroyed by the Bucks.
That's really what would happen. So,
and then I'd rather add like another piece to the core, or trade that piece, whatever.
If this isn't a would you rather or anything, just another question. Would you want to trade somebody if we got a good draft pick, or would you want to bring him like off the bench, or like what are you kind of thinking?
Well, it depends on who we're trading. Are you talking about like trading like OG or something?
No, we wouldn't trade OG. I'm saying
I think it'd be Pascal, right?
Yeah, it'd be Pascal, probably.
I mean, it depends on the type of player we get. Like, say I don't know how this would happen, but say we draft Jabari Smith, right, who's a 4. Mm-hmm. I think you have to trade Pascal at that point, right? Because then you're. Mm-hmm. But say we draft a guard, then I don't think you have to, right? They don't have to be. Like, I don't think we're gonna have a top 5 pick this year, right? We might be late lottery, mid lottery, right? 8, 9. That guy doesn't need to start right away. So you can see what you have in them, and then make that decision.
Yeah. Okay. I think I agree with that. Unless there's a need to trade. Yeah. Okay. This is my last one for you guys. There's another one that has to do with this season. Right. Would you rather make a serious move this deadline or stay quiet? Staying quiet can still mean trading Dragic or something, but just basically, would you rather make a big move or not this deadline?
Go ahead, Luke. What do you think?
Man, that's tough, and I don't know, man. I feel like I would really like to see at least one more season with Pascal, and Scotty and all the main core. So to be honest, I don't think I'd really make any huge moves this season. I think I'd really like to see this group, because let's be honest with each other right now. Have we really seen this group at its full capacity? We haven't. No. And I'd feel like it'd be a shame if we trade away one of our key integral players like Fred or Pascal or something like that, or a package or something. I think we'd be at a loss, and then we gotta incorporate somebody new into our system again, and you know what I mean? Like I'd like to see next season at least with, because we're still gonna get Pascal performing, if not like maybe not as peak, but near it, and same with Fred, and then we at least where maybe Pascal and Fred maybe decline a little bit, we would see maybe more from OG, more from Scotty, more from and Gary, and more from other guys. So. To be honest, I don't think it's worth it to make any big moves, and I don't know. I think it's better if we just at least one season more with this same group.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'd like to stay quiet, unless like for the guys who are available on the trade market right now, there's no one other than like a Miles Turner. Yeah. If that's a deal that comes up, maybe there's no one else that I don't think fits. Right, like we're not gonna go trade for Dame. I don't think Bradley Beal is someone who the Raptors would target, even though I don't mind that fit. I think I'd rather wait for the summer. That's where bigger deals happen. You let the new guy have a full training camp, right? I think I'd rather let this year play out, and then maybe not even in the summer make a big deal. Right? Wait another whole year. Let's see what we have now, and then
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I think something I'm kind of realizing more as the season goes on is that we're not in a rush. None of our guys are declining yet, right?
Agreed.
None of them are. They're still so. I think I kind of want us to run it back next year with the same team and just try and all be healthy and to see what they can do and then kind of adjust there because I don't really know. I don't think we can really properly tell what we're missing to make it to then make a trade. Like I mean, obviously we could use a bigger guy, but like as far as just how well this whole thing will work, this roster will work, we don't really see where the issue is yet because we haven't seen them all together.
Yeah.
So I think making a trade. Again, like you said, I think I'd still do a Miles Turner trade at this point because I think it's a huge opportunity. But outside of that, I don't really see a point in breaking it up because we don't really know what we're breaking up yet. So yeah. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys.
Awesome.
Bless up. Bless up.
All right, want to do a quick looking ahead. The Raptors have a prolonged break, and it sounds like they're going to get at least a few guys back for the game on Friday. On Friday, we play the Clippers.
Is it Friday or Saturday?
Eve. Friday.
Eve,
is this the first time we played the Clippers this season?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. No Paul George.
We only played twice.
No PG, so it'll be interesting to see how that stacks up.
Yeah.
I wish you were playing Paul George. I would like to see some of our wing defenders guard him. And we'll probably record our next podcast after our game on Sunday because we play the Knicks at 3:30 on Sunday the 2nd.
For sure.
Nice.
So another one evenly matched. I think 2 evenly matched games that should be close games this weekend.
I hope that Clippers game
isn't.
I hate the Clippers roster outside of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, to be honest with you. So, and that's what they have right now.
Tyronn Lue, bro.
That's an easy game, but Tyronn Lue is goated. Is officially goated in my books. So
yeah.
All right, that'll be it.
That's it for me, man.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
Okay, well.
Just that outro, Luke.
Yeah, all right. I'll hit him with the outro.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. I'm your host, Luke Dick.
I'm Elias Eldridge.
And I'm Sam Kenny.
And before we head out of the podcast, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you guys get your podcasts, make sure to leave a rating and also leave us a review. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at RapChat Podcast, where we post new clips of the show every week. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Peace out.
Peace.